Thank you, Mr. Timmons. You're now recognized.
Chairman Smith, Ranking Member Sanchez, and members of the committee, I'm Jay Timmons, and I have the privilege of leading the National Association of Manufacturers. And on behalf of manufacturers in America, I want to begin simply by stating thank you, because you have made the investment of a generation in America's manufacturers. You have strengthened the hand of the 13 million people who make things in America, and you have delivered historic pro-growth tax legislation powering every manufacturer in America to invest, innovate, and lead. Let's remember what was on the line. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, well, it was rocket fuel for our industry. And powered by that legislation, our industry kept our promises. We created the most jobs in 20 years and the strongest wage growth in 15 years. We put more factories into motion, more shovels into the dirt, and more prosperity into our communities. Put simply, tax reform worked. Yet all that momentum was at stake. The rocket was running out of fuel. Several of the key provisions from 2017 had already expired, as would nearly all others by the end of this year. So this year was a time for choosing. We could double down on an investment that worked and make the 2017 provisions stronger and permanent, or we could let those provisions expire and wipe out 6 million jobs, more than $500 billion in wages, and more than $1 trillion in GDP. The time had come for Congress to choose, and Congress stood with us. As a result, this is a manufacturer's law through and through. By making immediate R&D expensing, full expensing of capital equipment, and interest deductibility permanent, this manufacturing law delivers for investment and innovation. Through the pass-through deduction, reduced individual tax rates, and estate tax provisions for family-owned businesses, this manufacturing law delivers for small businesses that power our economy. Through protecting the 21% corporate tax rate, and through strengthening the international tax system that incentivizes companies to invest here, build here, hire here, this manufacturing law will help deliver another American century. It was President Reagan who inspired my entry into public service. His 1981 and 1986 tax cuts showed me what can be accomplished through strategic policy choices and steady leadership. An investment in the people and the communities of our country, from Chillicothe, Ohio, where I grew up, to countless others like my hometown. A conviction that a strong manufacturing base is essential to America's global leadership. As I speak with you today in the library that bears his name, on behalf of the industry that you have re-energized, I think back to President Reagan's very words when he signed the 1986 Tax Reform Act. Sadly, I'm old enough to have watched it live. President Reagan spoke of the American people. He said, "It was their hard work that built our cities and farmed our prairies, their genius that continually pushed us beyond our boundaries of existing knowledge, reshaping our world with the steam engine, polio vaccine, and the silicon chip. It was their faith in freedom and love of country that sustained us through trials and hardships and through wars. And it was their courage and selflessness that enabled us always to prevail." That's the story of manufacturing. It's a story that must go on, because when manufacturing wins, America wins. Here's why. Every investment in manufacturing ripples outward, helping every community stand taller, from the heartlands to the coasts. Higher investment, more American jobs, increased wages, the dignity of work. Now, I acknowledge that not every American, let alone every member of Congress, is convinced. But I can promise you this: through the power and potential of these reforms, manufacturers will work every day to make sure that all Americans benefit. On that, you have my word. And just as we did after 2017, manufacturers will deliver again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.